So what we're going to talk about today is rotation in the backswing. And I think it's really important to understand that how the rotation happens in the backswing is based on what the knees do. And if you watch the best players in the world, you'll see guys like Dustin Johnson at the top of their golf swing. Have a look at his knees. They have done something that a lot of amateur golfers don't do. And that's what we're going to cover off in this video here today. It's how to rotate in the backswing the correct way. So before we dive into that photo of Dustin Johnson you just saw, let's talk about what I see on a daily basis of amateur golfers and what they do and why their ball striking is so poor when they do this. So when you set up to a golf ball, we obviously have some knee flex. So we set up to the golf ball and we don't want to just stand here with our legs dead straight. We wouldn't have any power whatsoever in the backswing or the downswing. And we also wouldn't want to just completely sit down, which is what some golfers do, but that's for another video. We obviously stand here with some knee flex. Now, what I see from a lot of golfers is during the backswing, these knees will stay flexed exactly how they are. Some players might actually add more flex to their knees during the backswing. And I can tell you right now, this is massively detrimental to your golf game, and here's why. If I keep my knees dead flexed throughout my entire backswing, a couple of things can happen. Number one, we can't really swing it that far. At least I can't. I'm not the most flexible guy. I need to change that knee flex in order to get my club to go further. Jason Day has recently moved away from this style of turning his body or lack thereof because it was hurting his back. So there's massive physical issues that come into play when you keep everything super flexed. The other issue that you're going to see is the direction the club moves during the backswing. So if you're someone who slices the golf ball and you're keeping your knees flexed the entire time, it's one of the worst things you can do. And the reason why is because when you keep these knees flexed, I struggle to rotate. All I can really do is lift the golf club up, or I whip the golf club inside, and that's going to force me to come over the top and slice that golf ball. So changing knee flex is super important in this case. So if we take a look at that picture of Dustin Johnson, have a look at his knees at the top of the golf swing. What you can see is that he has reached the top of his golf swing and his knees have what we call changed flex. The left knee still has some bend in it, but the right leg has actually straightened a little bit. Okay, this is not to be mistaken with completely locking that right leg out, but we want to have a change in knee flex during the golf swing. So if we look at this angle here, what we're going to notice is that when I swing my golf club and I change my knee flex, watch the direction that this left knee goes. It goes inward as I turn the corner. So you're going to see that the left knee has moved slightly inward and less outward. And in fact, what I would say is the more that this left foot or this left knee works out towards the left toe, what you're going to notice is it really stops everything from turning in my right side. So what I actually want is I want that left knee to move slightly inward and then allow this right leg to straighten during the golf swing. Now, another massive benefit of allowing the knees to change flex during the swing is it will create, number one, more rotation. Number two, you're going to have a much longer swing because you'll be able to get that body to turn more. But number three, you'll be able to have depth in your golf swing. Now, depth in the golf swing is where the arm or the butt of the golf club is pointing at the top of the swing. So no depth would be something like this, where the butt of the golf club points at my toe line. Again, this is created by no rotation of the body. And an appropriate amount of depth would be somewhere where the butt of the golf club points roughly near my heel line. So if you're a slicer of the golf ball, you need more depth in your golf swing in order to stop slicing the golf ball. So what we want to do is we want to allow the knees to change flex to, number one, have a longer swing, number two, create more rotation, and number three, create more depth in the golf swing. And what you're going to be able to do there is get to the top and create a much better path on the way down, and that's going to allow you to hit better golf shots. So a way that we can work on this at home or on the driving range is to grab two alignment sticks. And here's how I want you to work with these. I want you to put one in your belt loops, just like this. We're going to loop them through. So if you don't go to ranges with belt loops, I would recommend you do so. And then the second alignment stick will be placed on the top of your shoulders like this. Now, if we go back to this view here and we see that my knees are staying flexed for too long, when I start to turn, you'll see that the lower body stick barely moves. So yes, I can turn my upper body to some degree, but not a lot. So you'll see that my lower body has barely moved, but my upper body has moved some, but not enough. So what we want to achieve is we want to have the lower body rotate roughly 45 degrees and our upper body roughly 90 degrees. And to do that, it's very, very difficult if we keep everything really flexed and we just try and rotate the upper body. I can't really move past here. So what we're going to do is allow the knees to change flex. This will add rotation, this will create a longer swing, and this will be able to achieve these sticks to be able to rotate into those desired numbers. 45 degrees with my lower body and 90 degrees with my upper body. And as you can see here, my upper body stick has rotated 90 degrees and my lower body stick has rotated roughly 45 degrees. So I now want you to practice this with a club in the hand with the same feels, lower body and the upper body rotating a lot better. And we're going to feel like as I turn, allow my knees to change flex. And what you're going to see is a much bigger shoulder turn from this view. And then from this view here, you're going to see that my hips have turned a lot more than if everything was just super flexed. And you'll see that my depth and the length of my swing changes as well. So next time you're at the driving range, make sure you're working on this rotation drill. And in my opinion, I think you should be doing this a lot every single day at home first to learn exactly how to turn that body in the most effective way. Now, if you're confused by the word depth and you don't understand it as much, I want you to watch the video that's on the screen right now, because in that video, I explain exactly what depth is, whether you need more of it or less of it, depending on your swing.